and he just went round a corner, and I could see him. I was like, we're going to hit him. We're going to hit him. We're going to hit him. And then we just hit him.
There once were two guys living in China, and they discovered that they did not like vagina. Now they're having butt sex with each other. And this podcast is an excuse for their affair. Two guys, one China. Check it out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Two Guys.
One China.
I'm Daniel.
This is Jagger.
It's been a bit of a while since we've done the last podcast. What have you been up to the last few days?
Wow, it's definitely been a while. A lot of crazy stuff's went on. I felt kind of bad the past few days. Felt a little sick, honestly.
Yeah, you did look. I saw him like 2 days ago, and he just looked super rough. What do you think made you ill?
I don't know.
Food?
Coronavirus.
Do you think, because you thought it was like the beer, right?
I thought that I drank. Well, in China, there's a huge thing of like fake alcohol, but I didn't really drink much of liquor.
Oh,
I think I just drank a combination of I drank too much and maybe my throat hurt. Probably a combination of I drank too much, too many cigarettes, and my symptoms reminded me of tonsillitis.
Oh,
so
okay.
just like your tonsils swollen.
Because there are these things, right, in China where like it's famous in China that some of the beers and bars, they put fake beer into it. Because when you said it to me, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of this. Maybe that's what it was.
No, you're right. One of my friends, I told them that she's lived here for a long time, and she goes, "Okay, tell me where you've been." I went, boom, boom, boom. She goes, "Okay, boom. What'd you drink there?" I went, Budweiser, maybe. And I went, fuck, I did drink Budweiser.
Is that one of the beers that could be like?
Yeah.
Apparently, what they do, right, is they get like empty bottles from customers, and then they pour the fake beer into it, and so it's cheaper, right, for the bar.
Yes, or they just make their own label and brew it here for cheaper instead of actually importing Budweiser. You know, you import anything from the United States, it's going to be pretty expensive. There's not a lot of cheap stuff. I mean, even Budweiser's pretty cheap back home, but it's kind of expensive for the beer here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So it's just a combination of the place I was at and the what I was drinking. Maybe I just got too drunk.
Maybe, yeah. We did get really drunk that night. The next day, you just thought you were really hungover, right? But then you were like everyone else.
Like Monday, I laid here all day in bed.
Just feeling sorry for yourself.
Well, but the good thing was I didn't work. I've been off for a few days, you guys. I found another job.
Oh, I think we'll leave that a little bit later to why. But yeah, I honestly think it's been about 2 or 3 weeks maybe since we did the last podcast, and we've both done a lot of stuff. Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Jackie was doing a proper thinking face.
I was thinking then it was the last podcast before we went to the beach.
Yeah, it was.
Then it's been about 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Wow. So you've been to the beach. I've been to the beach. So we're gonna like maybe chat a little bit about the beach first. So
yeah.
So basically, just a bit of a story.
We love beaches.
We love the beaches. I love hot beaches.
We love whale beaches and
I like getting oiled up and just being around beaches.
all the sand and
But so I was actually supposed to go on the trip with Jagger. So we have a group of friends and they all booked this place out. And I thought I had this holiday because my TA told me and my manager told me, but no one had said anything in my company. So then my friend left and he was like, yeah, I've only got 1 day holiday. And I was like, why, dude? We have like 4 days. I was like, I'd like paid and everything. Told my girlfriend got like a bikini as well. She was like super pumped for it. And then I spoke to my manager and I was like, whoa, we've only got 1 day? I thought it was 4 days. He was like, yeah, we've only got 1 day. And I was just like, I was just so annoyed.
Yeah, I'd have been really mad about that. My work, well, any job here in China I've had, I guess that's just one. I don't know why I said that, but they kind of tell you your holidays like pretty short-handed, so it's kind of hard to plan. And
that was annoying. It's because my manager told me. She was like even talking about coming with us, and then we didn't speak about it for a while, so I just assumed, but they hadn't officially said it. And until they officially say stuff in China, we just wait until. But
and Daniel works at a training center, so a lot of times they'll stay open because the parents would be like, no, we want the training centers to stay open so we can go on vacation. And it gives the kids something to do, and the grandparents will take care of them.
And most private centers just want to make that moolah. unfortunately. Which I think with a lot of like expats that I speak to, I think I'm quite relaxed. Like certain things happen to me and I tell Jagger or some other people and they go like, I'd be fucking pissed if they did that to me, man. I'd be fucking pissed. You should just leave. And I was just like, it's okay. Like, cause maybe how I told the story, but it was just, they weren't trying to be dicks or anything to me. It was just like false information, but I was quite chilled. I was like, it's a shame. And like, I saw the photos and it looked so good, you guys. What did you guys do?
Okay. So we booked like a Airbnb and it was like a 10-bedroom. It was on Xichong Beach. Probably said it wrong. So in close to Shenzhen, there are like 2 main beaches or maybe 3. There's Daniel, what beach did you go to?
Dongchong.
Okay, Dongchong is like the bigger one, and Xichong is another big one, but it's smaller.
Does Chong mean beach?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe it's the area.
Chongqing. That means west or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true. Google it. So we went to this beach, but this beach a couple of years ago was hit by a typhoon.
Oh.
So
okay.
it knocked down like a lot of the buildings. So in how do you say it?
What?
The beach you went to?
Dongchong.
Okay, so at 5 Point you said that. So the beach is in
Dongchong.
It has a lot of buildings and bars like close to the beach, just like all the beaches in the United States. Most of the beaches probably in any touristy environment.
Mm-hmm.
But in Xichong, the typhoon destroyed all the buildings. So there was, when you get onto the beach, you look to your left, you look to the right, all the way to where the little the mountains come in between the beaches. There is not one single building.
Really?
So it was very pretty, very Southeast Asia looking. It looked like we were in Vietnam. Like you see my pictures.
Yeah. I would say, just to give people like the geography of where we were. So we obviously were in Shenzhen, right next to Hong Kong, the city there, and Dongchong and your place was for me it was about an hour and a bit drive to get there. And like for us as well, I don't know if it's the same for you, like when we got to the beach, because of the coronavirus, we had to everyone had to get out and show them this code to show that they'd been in China for a long time, so we don't have the virus before we could get on, because you had some issues right with the coronavirus and even getting into the Airbnb, because it's hard at the moment. It's hard for foreigners to go to hotels because they just won't accept foreigners.
Right. So one reason we wanted to use Airbnb is, if you're in China, you might can take this advice. So in Airbnb, you can contact the renter or the owner and message them personally before you book it. So we messaged them and asked if, 85 foreigners could come into his little house.
Yeah.
And we got confirmation of what we needed to do. So it helped us use an Airbnb.
And for me, I think, so basically I got a letter from my work, and basically the letter said that the Chinese government had said to everyone, like published and said, we're pretty safe now, but most of the coronavirus is coming from outside, and some Chinese people have gathered that information as foreigners are bringing it in. So there's a bit of, is it xenophobia? Is that what it's called? I feel like that's the word. Sometimes words come to me and I'm like, is that the right word? But basically, there's been a bit of like pushback from Chinese people. It's definitely a lot more relaxed now, but like a few weeks ago, that time it was difficult. Like my friend got stuck at a train station because they thought that she had the coronavirus, and it's difficult to explain stuff if you don't speak Chinese.
Right. We talked about it a little last time.
Yeah.
About when we first, how we first got here versus coronavirus versus not coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's like misinformation. It's just when you have when you have a billion people listeners, when so many people are coming back, it's just hard to decipher that information.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you went to the Airbnb. How many people were you with?
I can't remember. It was like 10, 11, 12, 13. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But the Airbnb was okay. It, obviously we're in China. It looked way nicer in the pictures. But it was cool. It was chilled. We could walk to the beach. But this is why I like this beach trip. There was no clubs. It was just this little neighborhood we were in, a bunch of fields, and the beach.
Mm.
Like I felt the typhoon wiped out this place clean.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the weekend went. Walk from the Airbnb to the beach, 20-minute walk. Walk back, sit there, eat, drink, wake up the next day, walk to the beach, walk back, sit there, order barbecue. That was it. It was really chill.
Sounds like so much fun.
Right. It was really chill.
So I went to Dongchong Beach with a guy that I work with called Lewis. He's basically, so he started a WeChat group called Intrepid Explorer, marketing for him. But he started this WeChat group and he has 200 people in it now, and he does lots of hikes. And I was so gutted that I couldn't go to the beach. And then he said to me, dude, we're just doing a trip to the beach. Do you want to come? You can try out surfing. I was like, do I have to do the surfing part? He was like, no, you can generally just get on the coach and go to the beach and just hang out. And I was like, that sounds awesome. So I brought my girlfriend. I told a few friends. So a few friends also came. We got picked up. I was like super late for the pickup, but luckily the driver was super late as well. So when I got there, everyone was just getting on. And like Lewis, it was really cool. He was sitting on the coach. He'd made a quiz for everyone. So everyone was kind of speaking, trying to do this quiz. It was fucking hard, but he said it was easy. But it was so difficult. And then we got to the beach. I rented out like a ball because there's a few people that want to play football. And then everyone went all the way down to the beach, right? To the end of the beach. And I was like, I don't want to go that far because I want to be near the bar. And also I want to get a chair. So I got a chair. Me and my girlfriend got a chair, and then some other people got a chair, and we got like an umbrella. And then everyone just came back because I was like, that's a fabulous idea.
That's it. That's the beach move right there. That's what we did. So we bought a big tent.
Mm-hmm.
We split 300 kwai for this massive tent with chairs and a table, and we sat there, and we drank some beers, and we walked to the ocean every now and then, walked back, and that was it. It was beautiful.
Did you get sunburnt?
Yeah, but I coated sunscreen on the whole time, so I think some of the others got a little more sunburnt than me, but I was actually pretty good.
I'm still flaking now.
You told me, you showed me your bag.
I'd be in bed and I'd do that thing. I'd be like, just turn over. I'd be like,
see, look at my arms.
but we both got a good color on us now, right? It's sick.
Yeah,
well, so like next week on the podcast, I've got a camera now, so you'll be able to see our beautiful faces.
Right, you'll be able to see us
in all our glory.
Yeah, should be great.
But no, I was joking. I was only messing. Like, it sounds really chilled. That
we're gonna make it to the top of YouTube for beauty and makeup just from being on camera.
We should do like Chinese products or something.
Yeah.
Put makeup on you, make you beautiful.
Yeah, I met this guy this weekend who does Chinese TikTok, and he's got like 200,000 or 300,000 followers, maybe more.
Wow, maybe we're in the wrong market.
Yeah,
maybe we should be doing TikToks.
He teaches like Chinese.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh, that's so cool.
Right.
But yeah, so the trip and the beach was good, relaxed. Came back feeling good.
Yeah, came back. It was really relaxing. It was chill because since the coronavirus, one reason like a lot of expats and me and Daniel come to China is also gives an excellent opportunity to travel because it's so cheap to fly around Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Vietnam. Like I could have been in fucking Vietnam for 5 days, but coronavirus, can't travel. Haven't been able to travel in 4 months. It was good to at least pretend I'm traveling. But I guess the beach is traveling. I've never been to a Southeast Asia beach before personally.
I think that was one of the weirdest things for me. It was just being in like a beach, and there was loads of Chinese people. Just like all the kids were making sandcastles and things, and it was just like one of the things when I think about China is I don't think about beaches. And so my girlfriend was like, "Yo, do you want to go jet ski?" And I was like, I'm super down. Yeah, of course. And I swear she got longer because obviously she's prettier than me, but it's like she was out there. And like one thing I remember I did a jet ski in Spain, but they made it so we can only go so far. Where my beach was, there was like another island there, and I swear she was on the other island because she just went straight. And then I was like, oh my God. And then there's a lot more of like the Wild Wild West. So you can do what you want. And then we did a banana boat ride, and it was really funny. I was at the front. I was a bit scared because I hadn't done one in ages. And it turned, and I was like, I'm not going off. And then it turned again, and the girl next to me like almost fell off. But then I kind of like barged her and just knocked her off. And then a girl went on another trip and got whipped off, and she came back, dude. She looked fucking pissed. I walked past her. She was just like, I was like, good ride.
Is this being pulled by a jet ski?
Yeah, and the guy was like, yo, because I had the Chinese people with me, so they were just like, faster, and I was just like, "Ma!" And they all fell off, man. It was, apart from me, I held on.
Are you a good swimmer?
What?
Are you a good swimmer?
Yeah,
You
we
swim?
swam to like the boys and back.
Oh yeah, we did too.
Yeah,
I'm a pretty good swimmer. I like doing that. I like swimming a lot.
it's so relaxing.
I haven't been
Are you like a
swimming-
breaststroker or do you like a free? What's it called? Free stroke?
Um,
Man, we're
So
fucking
there's-
dumb.
like doggy style, breaststroke, and then there's backstroke.
Front stroke. We call it freestyle. That's it, freestyle. But I thought in the Olympics, freestyle meant you could choose any style, but everyone just chose the same one.
Is that even a thing? Freestyle in the Olympics?
In the Olympics, it's called freestyle, which is on your front.
You just do what you want.
Well, no, I thought freestyle meant you could do anything you want, and then I'm like, of course everyone's going to do front stroke. But then I realized freestyle means front stroke.
Okay.
But I
okay.
always thought there was going to be this one guy in the pool that would just do breaststroke.
Right.
He was really good at it.
No, I took like a couple years swimming lessons when I was a kid because I liked it.
Mm.
So my parents would just let me go back.
Yeah.
I'm an okay swimmer. I mean, I'm not no Michael Phelps, but
Yeah. But it was funny when we did the beach, we hung out, had a few beers, it was really nice. Just catching L's, lols. We had
What?
some food, and then we got on the coach back, and there was I think I would call him a minibus.
bus, not yeah,
I would call him a minibus.
yeah. We had a minibus too.
Yeah,
You
so
could like walk on the right side, like
no, just like a minibus, like
Okay.
a van that you can just sit in.
Okay.
Maybe. But my friend was on the other one, and he said that they were just chilling, and some guy just like threw up, and it's an hour and a half drive, right? And he just threw up, and apparently some girls just like got up and just like called a taxi for the next 45 minutes. And apparently my friend's super nice, Andy. Shout you out, I love you. He's gonna come on the podcast. He's so nice. He cleaned it up. He helped him out. He's like, don't worry, buddy. Don't worry. Here you go. I cleaned it up. And these girls were just furious and just like got out. And apparently on my coach or like minibus, whatever, we were all listening to music. We were so tired. But then the leader of our bus, Taff, said that like two girls had a massive argument. But I was just like listening to my music, like looking outside the window, thinking I was in the OC.
yeah. Wait. Okay, so our group was pretty drama free. No one argued much. So I got pretty lucky. There wasn't this ends a little too much.
No one
for me.
argued who I was with. It was just but yeah. So
Just-
you had fun.
Just some bitches.
Just some fucking bellends.
Just bitches arguing.
Duh.
I
We
want-
hate that.
I want some Diet Coke.
We're all about peace and love.
I want some regular Coke.
So we both been to the beach, and obviously we've been. I've because I work a lot. I feel like I've been working so much.
A lot.
I've tried to get out more, and a lot of our friends do like stand up comedy, right? And so I've always been trying to go, but either I'm really tired, or I just want to hang out with my girlfriend, or whatever reason, I always just don't go. And I was like, right, this week I'm gonna go, and I went to 3 different stand-up comedies because it's different places. So I went to one in Bao'an, I went to one in Shaco, and I went to one in
Fumin.
Fumin.
I don't know how to say it. Everyone corrects me every time I say it. It's not Fumin.
Fumin.
I think it's Fumin.
How many have you been to?
I've been to one right when I moved to Shenzhen like 7 months ago.
How was it?
I don't remember. I was just excuse me. I like just got here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember anybody that went because when I came, we went late. We kind of walked in. There was a few more and we left.
Do you know what I was going to say today, actually? Is that I've been like, so I've been using like Ubers. We call them DDs over here. And I've been using DDs for so long, right? Like last 3 months, it's really bad. I have like a problem. I need to sort my life out. So I was like, I need to save money. So I was like, I'll go to Jaggers, do podcast, and I'll get a train. And I realized when I got on the train, I haven't been on a train for so long. I forgot what I needed to do to scan my code on WeChat and everything. But then when I was on the train, it really like gave me a flashback from when I was first here. And I just felt like I have a better understanding of China, but it was so different back then. And I was like, yeah, I remember when I used to do this. But yeah, like when you're talking about seeing comedy again, like there's different times, right?
Right, that spark of anxiety and stress, and instantly start sweating when someone yells something at you and you don't know what to do, or if you did something wrong, or
Yeah.
they tell you to pull something up on your phone and you have no idea what to do. You're like sweating, like what? You're
And
like,
you automatically
hold the
resort
phone
to
up.
just speaking English, like they're gonna understand. Sorry, I don't understand this code. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, till this day, somebody bumps into me. I'm still like, oh, my bad, bro. And
Yeah,
like, they just look at me.
they're gonna
and
turn
I'm
like, no worries, man.
yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah,
In Shenzhen, that happens a lot.
But yeah, so I went to my first one was in Fujian, and it was stand up, and there is a massive community in Shenzhen of stand up comedians, but it's very like amateur. So it's just like it's kind of cool because it's people that you know, and it's a really good crowd. And so I went to one, and my preconception of amateur stand up comedy was if it's really bad and I don't laugh, I feel like maybe I will do a fake laugh just to laugh for the person, but then would that person then think that he's funny or she's funny
Like that.
but I was actually like surprised with how much I laughed as well at some of the jokes.
Yeah, you really don't have to laugh at all.
Yeah, I mean there were a few acts where you just go but there was I think there was first time I watched it was like 6 people and 3 were like really funny and the rest everyone got a laugh, everyone got like a kind of laugh, which was good.
Right. Even a few like I went to one in Beijing last April when I came to visit China. And then I've been to like 3 here.
How was that?
It was okay in Beijing. Like in Beijing the like host was like ragging the fuck out of us the whole time.
Oh really?
Yeah. I remember he said something to Isaac. He was like, "Where are you from?" He said Alabama, and he's like, "Oh my fucking god!" And like drops the mic and walks off to the next person or something like that. Maybe he said something about being from Alabama. But
So, have you been to many in Shenzhen?
I've been to like I was saying that first one, and I
Mhm.
went to 2 or 3 in Shaco.
Well, we went to one the other day, right?
Correct. That was like the third one.
What do you? Because I think it's a really good way to meet people because there's a lot of expats that go. B, it's fun to see your people that you know doing stand up because it's pretty professional. Like there's a mini stage. There's usually a lot of people there, and I think there can be some gems. Like there's this one guy I think called Aaron, and I've seen him twice. He did 2 different sets, and he's very English, very dry sense of humor. And he just came out with some like he talks about how like Chinese people don't queue, and how he was waiting at a KFC, and like he eventually learned the Chinese for "Can you everyone here please just make a line?" He was like that was one of the first Chinese sentences that I got because I just got so frustrated.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like but that should also like that should lead into other things I want to do in China like trivia.
Yeah,
I want to do trivia I get all the bros into trivia because I love to do that at university.
dude, I did trivia at a bar. It's shut now. The one that's in the big in SeaWorld there's a massive boat, and there was a place called Expat Bar, and I went there with some friends, and we won, and we got 500 RMB, free drinks, and it shut. So we never got to use it.
Did you guys do that in the university in the UK?
Yeah, it would be like on a Sunday. Everyone would go down and do trivia. I did it twice. I wasn't like super into it because it's quite a fun thing to do just with your mates. But I feel like a lot of people cheated though because they get their phones out, right? And I'm very like honest when it comes to it. I'm like, if we win, we win. And luckily, when we did our trivia, there was a guy who knew Game of Thrones, and a girl had just traveled all of China, and it was Chinese places. There was only like 2 other teams,
right? We did a lot, and like a lot of breweries do it. You can almost find someone doing trivia every night in my college town.
Mm-hmm.
But we would like usually it's just kind of there would be like 2 security guards walking around checking people, making sure they're not.
Oh really?
Yeah,
they took that shit serious,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and there would be like one place in this like Irish pub style, and where I went to university, it was pretty crowded. Like there'd be like almost nowhere to sit on trivia nights.
Oh, okay.
But it was like legit. Like when we were close to graduating, we tried to like assemble the dream team.
Oh.
We were like, we need an engineering major. We need like a
really
debating major. We need like 2 or 3 smart guys. We need someone who knows about sports. Like we're gonna fucking win this time.
And then
we're gonna fucking
and then
win.
me, who would be the guy that just knows random shit.
Yes, I answered like one question. I was useless. But there was a question about. They said, what was the punk band that that covered the Lil Wayne song? And I'm like, Flaming Hanleys, Lollipop.
And you're there like, yeah, I'm wanted. I'm needed in my team.
That was like the only question I answered ever on trivia.
And I feel like sometimes when you do trivia, and like there's really intelligent people, and then you go, Yeah, I think it is that. And you're like, yeah, just just act natural, man. Just
Well, that's why trivia is cool, because you could have surrounded by like geniuses, and then there might be one question about baseball, and that one dude's in the back like
This
looking
is
at you
me.
like, this is me.
It's my turn.
This is fucking Mark McGuire, 98 or something.
When I did the quiz on the minibus to the beach, there was this girl. It was me, my girlfriend, and this Chinese girl. But like, she just seemed really intelligent. So she would go, "No, actually, I think it's this." It was all about geography and stuff. And I was like, "No, I think it's this." And I was just being like quite relaxed. I was like, "Okay, let's go for your answer." And then the answers came back, and I was like, "Nah, I said that. And then I kind of had that little moment. I was like, I'm clever. No. But yeah, so I just think recently, like as we said in the last podcast, like I feel like I've had a lot more time to hang out with people and just chill with people, and the comedy nights have been really good ways to meet that. And I think one of the I was speaking to my friend Jesse, and he was talking about like, yeah, but you don't want to get trapped in the Shaco Bubble, which Shaco Bubble basically means like the Sea World. You always go to Sea World, you always see the same people. And I kind of feel like I'm not in that, because I feel like I've got like group of friends. I kind of feel like I have two different group of friends that I kind of hang out with, but they all kind of merge usually most of the time. And I kind of like that we have just regular friends that we just hang out with. I don't feel like I'm meeting any new people, which is cool. I do meet random people, but sometimes, you know, when you're like with your like friends and you meet a new person, if you just come to China, you'll be a bit more like asking more stuff. But when you just meet them randomly and your friends are there, you kind of just retract back to your friends, which isn't a good or bad thing. I'm just saying it's kind of how I've been. I haven't really been stretching out. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely don't get trapped. And I wonder what the equivalent to like the Shaco Bubble, I'm sure it could be same for the Fumin Bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And like my question for you and for like the audience is, I wonder what it's like in other cities like Shanghai. I'm sure it has the bubbles too, right?
I think to be fair, like when Jesse said it to me, I was just thinking to myself, everywhere has bubbles. Everywhere. Like once you find a group of friends, you rarely then go out to, which I say like bro dates. Like I met this really cool guy at the beach. I can't remember his name, and he was like, me and Andy, my friend, were like, dude, let's get your WeChat. Got his WeChat. We're like, yeah, we'll hook up. But I keep forgetting to like message him, and I feel like if me and him meet up, it's like a bro date, right? It's kind of like new. You're like, do I actually want to like hang out with you long term? Let's see how you are. But he was like super cool, and I feel like I don't have time to do that, and I feel like I've got my friends now. But even with our friends, new people join and they come into the group, but I haven't really met too many new people.
Right, but there is a difference though between not leaving the bubble and leaving the bubble with your friends, because
Okay.
like those friends are your friends because they live close to you, but just because you leave the bubble or your area with them friends doesn't mean you're staying in the bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get
Like
you.
kind of like I feel like a little bit contradicting what you said, but it's like I'm like you make those friends and then you all explore.
Yeah, because I feel like with like, cause so like we have like a group, and then what happens is like I didn't really know Ali and Andy that well. I met them through other people, and then after a while, I kind of started speaking to Ali and Andy more, and then we kind of like, oh yeah, okay, this is, you know, I fuck with you. And I'm not saying that I find one group of friends and I'm just like, these are my friends and I want to stay with them forever.
They're
Like,
mine.
I love meeting new
They're
people.
mine.
It's one of the reasons I love traveling. I just feel like with my workload, when I do go out, I'm so exhausted sometimes. I just don't have like the strength to try and be like super engaging with new people. And especially like in China, new people are either super cool or like super weird, and you sometimes you don't know, so you're like talking to them for like 15 minutes and you're like, are you fucking weirdo or are you like cool? And then you're just chilling with them, and then you're like, oh yeah, he's cool, and then he'll get super drunk and be like, nah, he's super fucking weird. And then he just comes that guy that you just go, hey, how you doing, bud?
Right. What's up, bro?
And
that's it.
yeah. I'm just gonna go, oh, yeah, okay,
It's
see you
like-
in a bit.
We all know, like, we all say this, or you see someone. I think it's easier with guys, You're walking on the street, you see someone you've seen like 1 or 2 times. You know you've met, but you don't know each other's names. It's always, "What's up, bro? Hey, man. How you doing? Good, good. I'll catch you later, bro. Sounds good, man."
Should we do that right now? Pretend we don't know each other right now. We'll do the conversation.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Oh, I'm listening to my music, so I take out. Oh, hey, man. What's up?
Oh, not much, man. I'm just heading over here to chill out, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I've just finished. I've actually I'm a bit. I've just got. How have you been?
Good, man. Good. But hey, it's good seeing you, bro. I'll catch you soon, all
We
right?
should get a beer sometime, right?
Yeah. Just hit me up on WeChat.
Oh yeah. Okay.
All right, see you, bro.
Bye, friend.
We don't have each other on WeChat.
Yeah. One time
It always happens like that.
Yeah,
Like,
even in England that would happen to me. Like there'd be people I walk past, and I actually like did a scientific experiment against this, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna fuck with someone. So there was this guy. We walked past. We did the general like, "How you been up to, man? Yeah, I've been good. I've been good." I was like, "Ah." He said to me, "Yeah, we should meet up for a drink sometime." And I was like, "I'm not free tomorrow, but I'm free on Friday." And he went, "Oh." And it was just like I completely like rocked the world of what you should do. And he was like, yeah, I'm free Friday, I think." And I was like, "Cool, all right, I'll send you a message." We never met up, but the shock in his face was
just
hilarious.
fucking with a guy.
But yeah, so do you think there is a bubble of expats, or do you think there's different groups but they just don't jam? Because I feel like for the most part, everyone that I meet, even if they're in their little groups, everyone's super friendly and they kind of merge.
I think that saying about, I think it's a lot for the old people,
What do you mean?
the older people who never leave Shaco. Because like I want to
Yeah.
explore. Like
Yeah,
I'm
me
all,
too.
like every time I'm off, I'm like, let's go to Fumin, let's go to Cocoa Park, let's go to that mall in front of it.
Yeah.
I want to go. There's several. I want to go hiking.
But what I'm saying is when you go to these places, do you go with like groups on WeChat, or do you go with your friends? Like, do you always go with the same people, or do you sometimes go?
Oh no, I
fuck
mix it up.
Yeah.
I mix it up.
Oh Jesus, nice.
Yeah. Boom, boom, them, what, who, everyone.
Yeah, I feel like
I
I'm
like
the
to mix it
same.
up.
I like to like try and hang out with different people, and try and meet new people and try and form like, because I feel like the one thing about China as well is, I think I'm going to stay here quite a long time, but everyone kind of has an expiration date on them as like a friendships. And I remember having like debates with people back home where they're like, are they like, when you travel and you meet a guy and it's only been 1 month, you've spent so much more time together than you would back home. So you form really strong relationships, but then you never see them again. But like some of those people that I've met on those trips, I still talk to now and I've considered best friends, like brothers, because some of the experiences we had. And I think, I don't know where I was going with this.
No, it's just similar to like university. Like I made a lot of friends and I still talk to them to this day. But then there's a few that I've talked to every day still. Similar to that.
Yeah. I feel like one of my friends went to the Philippines and he just said like every friend is a sort of expiration date. I don't mean to look at it so like critically, but he's like, you just fuck with the people that you're with. Like just have
And
fun.
bitches.
Fuck bitches. Fuck your friends. Just fuck everything. And I just feel like, yeah, that's the best way to look at it, is just like these people here, and like you do form really close relationships because especially when you're out anywhere in the world and you're not at home, you form these really, like, you're both experiencing these moments in your life that in 20, 30 years you'll look back on and like really appreciate those friendships.
Yeah, and even just like people who are listening or in China or want to come to China, it's like you come here and you don't have any friends, like do it.
Yeah.
You'll
Put yourself out there as well.
Yeah,
just like
you'll
go out.
Exactly. It'll make it easier to make new friends.
I think with China as well, like the comedy nights, going out with work friends, and then WeChat groups. Like one of my friends is in Guangzhou and she's having trouble meeting new people. And I just said to her, go into WeChat groups and they'll just be like, yeah, we're going to go. Just go on your own. And honestly, you can just go on your own and people want to like speak to different people.
Right. I would say that too. Like, bit of advice if you're like new to China or you want to come to China. For one is WeChat groups. Try to get into WeChat groups for restaurants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then just start talking to people. Two is actually talk to people. Just say, hey, bro, what's up, bro? Where are you from? Next thing you know, you got some homies. And then also, this may not help, but don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because when you start asking for help, you start getting connections for tutors and extra jobs and these restaurants, and I think that helps too, because then you start going to these places, and boom, you're at a senior restaurant. There's people there. You have new friends.
And then also even the apartment that we're doing the podcast in, your apartment has like a rooftop with a pool table. It has a cinema. It has a gym. And it seems like everyone will go up there. And so always, if you're going to get an apartment, see what kind of things that it has. Because if there's like sociable things upstairs, you can just go up there. And if you see a group of people, like one of the biggest things I said to my friend traveling is don't ever be nervous to say, hey, can I hang with you guys? Because unless they're dicks, everyone is so polite that they just say yeah, and then you're in, and then just like, you know, just hang out.
If they are dicks, then fuck them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice. So with that, we're gonna go into the next segment of the show, which is
segment.
The next. Okay, just fucking roll the intro.
The next segue we're rolling in with to the next segment is
question of the
week.
It's time of the question. Sorry. It's time for the question of the week. It's time for the question of the week.
Good.
What's the question?
I need to get my phone. So it's better
Okay.
than just like
Question of the week. Sorry about the intro, but it's kind of funny, so we're going to keep it. Daniel has it up.
No, I'm definitely gonna edit some of that. I might keep this part in.
Okay, so Daniel has it on his phone, and here we go.
So this is from our good friend Ali, and this is a really interesting question considering we just asked him to do it like 5 minutes ago, which is what differences, if any, have you noticed about the youth in China compared to back home? I think that's a really interesting question.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I want to go with like younger kids because I have a 5-year-old brother and a 4-year-old nephew.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like my nephew kind of acts like some of the kids here. He's pretty calm.
No, you can't speak. Ha ha ha.
He's pretty calm. He listens. He's chill. He doesn't cry a lot. He reminds me of some of my kids. But my brother is 5, is fucking crazy. Like he wants to kick soccer ball with me all day. He wants to swim in. He wants to run around. He's yelling, throwing stuff, and I feel like some of the kids here, their energy is more concentrated. It's not like wild like that.
I would disagree.
You would disagree?
Yeah, because one of the things that I've noticed about the youth that's the difference here is one of the things that kids back home don't have is like if they play with guns, they will be like water guns, or like if they are guns, it'll be like a small magnum. Dude, I've seen like kids out here with like I think I spoke about this in another podcast. One of my kids, when I was like teaching him, got out a gun, and I was like, that looks real. Like it was this massive sniper gun. And I was like, do you like that toy? He's like, this is my favorite toy. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then, like, I've seen kids just run around like shooting at each other, like shooting at me. And I'm just like, yo, man, just let me go home. One thing I was going to say about the youth here that I love about just everywhere in the world is every kid has a hero that they love. And here, they love this guy called Ultraman. And I actually want to like do some more research on Ultraman. But back home, for me, I'm a bit older. Mine was Power Rangers. They were the guys, and he's like a Power Ranger. He's one. I don't know. Is he a robot?
No, he looks like a Power Rangers, Astro Boy, Iron Man ripoff.
Cyborg.
Yeah, but he looks cheesy.
Oh yeah, but so was Power Rangers.
Oh god, yes, you're right.
But yeah, so they're into that kind of stuff. It's just different. I think one thing that I did want to note, one of the first things that came here to me about the differences between the kids here and abroad is just at school, I think it's drilled out of them to not have that much creativity.
Here.
Yeah.
The kids here.
Yeah, they don't have that much creativity. Because I remember one of my classes, we had to create a made-up animal. And I was like, okay, so I drew this animal. And I was like, big ears, and then I drew like 4 legs and a long tail and like wings. And then this kid was like, so it's a rabbit. And I was like, no, you can make up. And he's like, yeah, but it's big ears, so it's a rabbit. And I was like, no, you guys can create your own animal. I was like, should be super fun for you. And they just didn't understand. Like, I even got my TA to communicate this to them. They just didn't understand. So they all just drew, I had to create like animals. And they were like, this is a dog. This is a, and I'm like, and it's very hard. Like sometimes when you give them stuff to draw, like create something, they just will ask you what to do.
I'll agree with that. I feel like the creativity needs to be reinforced more into the educational system in general.
And then one of the other things I thought was that they're quite like teenagers. I always see them skateboarding around. They all seem to be like playing games. Like actually, I think teenagers, I don't see the differences that much. They love playing basketball and just like being kids.
I agree with that, but I'd like to see some teenagers in the smaller cities though.
What do you mean?
I wonder how different they are because the kids here, they like they see me walk by and use their skateboards all the time. Like I go by Hohai and I'll like ask someone to ride their skateboard. Like
I remember when you did that.
And then there's all these foreign restaurants and Western restaurants and stuff here, and a lot of like nice cars. So they're more exposed to stuff like that. So I wonder,
cars. I think they've got cars in the smaller cities.
For sure, but there's a lot of like there's Teslas and Lamborghinis and Porsches here. I'm just saying it's more exposure to the Western world. I wonder what it's like at like a smaller city. Is those kids going to be like doing something else besides skateboarding? Maybe basketball's probably still their thing, but maybe all the kids here actually play soccer. But some of the other kids in smaller cities don't play soccer.
Yeah, I think basketball is a big thing because they've got that really tall Chinese guy. I can't remember his name, but he's like so famous.
Yao Ming, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a basketball man. I'm not a basketball dude.
Yeah, Yao Ming is like 7'5", 7'6".
And even in like Japan as well, and China, I know that they both really love basketball. I think the basketball World Cup was here or something, right? It was in.
There's no basketball World Cup.
Okay, that was just me being super English.
There was a
competition though in Shenzhen. There was like a basketball competition. I'll show you after this.
Maybe, but there isn't.
I'll do a jag and be like, Google it.
Right. Google it. There is a Olympic team for every country that wants to participate in the Olympics. You know, I'm thinking of like the Winter Games or something in Tokyo or Beijing of 2008.
But yeah,
because you know the Olympics were here. I think the basketball team played in 2008.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I think. I could be wrong. Google it.
But yeah, I think like the kids are pretty normal. I think that's one of they're just kids, right? I think
there's
maybe
kids.
People who are listening to this from outside they might be this stereotype where they might be like quite strict and kind of, dude, they're fucking naughty. Some of them are like super naughty.
Some of them are, because the stereotype, I would say that stereotype goes a little more towards South Korea, Japan.
No, I thought Chinese. The thing is,
I'm talking about like schooling strict, like do your homework, get a good like.
China. I thought China had the,
but more so
Asian in general, right?
Asians in general, but I would say more so Korea and Japan are like super education. Like Korea is built on education, more so than.
I thought it was built on like ground,
grass and dirt. Yeah.
But it's actually built on education, so it's built on children. Maybe that's North Korea.
Oh god, that's good. Okay.
Well, I think with like the Chinese kids, I think the one thing I've just noticed, even in Vietnam as well, when I was teaching there, was just that their kids don't, like, for us, I feel like maybe this is just more from us in the West, when we had Saturday, Sunday off, we just used to play and fuck around. Whereas Saturday and Sundays here, those are days off. Those are times when the kids can be going to different schools or like English schools, doing piano lessons, going to play football. Like, it's always the kids are doing something. And I do think they get a lot of playtime. It does look like they get a lot of playtime. But that's one kind of difference, where in England it looked cruel, whereas here it's normal. Yeah,
piano lessons, like art, and mainly a lot of extra English classes or math classes. But one thing I have noticed is the area I live in is pretty residential, and I think all the kids go somewhere for lunch. They could get to leave for lunch, so they're always walking in there with their friends, and also after school they're always walking with their friends.
Oh yeah, they're very like to hang out and stuff like that.
Because like in the United States and most of the UK, you don't like walk home with your friends. You have to take a bus or drive.
Yeah,
And
and
there's no walking home.
we should
You have
also
to
say as
drive.
well, like for the public schools, every school all wear the same uniform, the blue and white uniform. And
Yes,
we're going back into creativity. You're all the same. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was in secondary school, we would all wear a uniform, but a different school would wear a different uniform. Whereas here, all the kids wear the same uniform, and they look like an army. Like if two schools end at the same time, they all come out. You're like, man, there's a lot of kids.
Yeah, the boys wear blue and the girls wear white, right?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, there's I
Yeah,
don't know if
they
it-
wear uniforms in the public schools here, which we don't in the United States. Only some private schools and boarding schools.
Oh really? So
Yeah.
I think with our secondary school, high school, everyone wears a uniform.
It sucks. Just like Harry fucking Potter.
Yeah, and then we
Why
get like
couldn't they
our
pick out their own
wands and
fucking
shit.
robes,
yeah.
bro?
You'll get a house.
Yeah, I want to pick my house, bitch. There's this fucking hat.
We have prefects and stuff like that, like
Okay.
head boys and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. See, we don't have actually there might be something like that in private schools or boarding schools, but
You were too cool for it.
I'm from a small town, so I went to that public school, bro.
I went to public school as well. It was kind of rough at times, but
Yeah, the public schools are pretty rough sometimes. But hey, what can we do?
So obviously we've had a lot of free time. So
Yeah,
tell us why you've had a lot of free time.
one reason I've had a lot of free time is I got fired from my job. Dun dun dun. Yeah, so at the beginning of this month, they pretty much told me, "Hey, you don't meet the requirements of the company. You're getting let go in the middle of the month, and you have a month to find another job." So for about 2 days, I was super stressed. I'm like, I have been screwed over because my manager don't like me. I've been screwed over. I now only get a half month's pay, and now I have a month to find the job. Training centers are not even open yet. Also, kindergartens are not even open yet. I was pretty stressed for like what, 2 days?
I remember seeing you I remember you messaged me and then seeing you and you just looked a little bit lost, a little bit disheartened. But I think the one good thing about China is you always land on your feet. There's always people looking for teachers.
Yeah, so to my benefit, I hit up some friends, got some recruiters. This happened on a Thursday. On a Friday, boom, talking to recruiters. Had 2 interviews on a Monday, one on a Tuesday, one on a Wednesday the following week. Boom, 4 days later, I have a job, probably a better job, very close to where I live.
So what's your job?
Now, instead of a training center, I'll be working at a kindergarten. So this kindergarten is pretty close to where I am, pretty similar pay grade, and I have several friends that work at kindergartens. They say they like it, but we'll have to see how it goes.
I just want to say, just to everyone listening, like for me, I taught in Vietnam for a year. Then I'd been teaching in China for like 6 months, whereas you had only taught face to face for 2 months, and then you went straight onto online. And the difference from going from teaching face to face to online is so different. Like I struggled the first few weeks trying to like get to grips with different games and different ways of how to teach and how to get the most out of the students. But for you, for someone to go trying to learn something new, I think I said to you, it's like you've just started 2 new jobs with the same boss that doesn't like you, and you know it sounded like you had a hard time, and you tried.
Yeah, it was pretty stressful. Like I was here I would say I taught for 2.5 months before the Chinese New Year, or you could say 3 months if you count 2 weeks of training.
So let's go into it. Like, so how did they tell you?
She just like said, "I need to talk to you after class," and then she was like, "Hey, your company's letting you go. You don't meet the requirements. You have 30 days. We're gonna pay you this. We're gonna pay you this."
They sit you down,
She's
or
like-
was it casual? That sounded pretty casual.
It was super casual. I
Oh,
was
really?
looking at her like,
I got a fucking
"What the fuck are you talking about?" She's like, "Are you gonna find another job, or you wanna go home?" And I looked at her and I said, "I don't know." You gotta give me a couple of days to like reevaluate my life. I was like, I can't even get a flight back home. I'm gonna have to get a humanitarian visa just to get a flight home.
That's
So I guess I'm gonna try to look for a job.
Yeah, I think one I'll try and give people listening that are interested in coming a bit of information. So what happens is you get a work visa from your company. As soon as you get fired super casually, or you quit, or you find a new job, you still have time in your visa to where the new company will switch your visa into their name. So it's I can imagine it being scary, but I think you have enough time. And with China, there's a place called Dave's ESL Cafe. Which is my like go-to place. There's WeChat groups and just people.
Recruiters, individual recruiters, which is probably, in my opinion, or what I think, this may be wrong, they might have the best jobs, and you don't hear about them overseas because they don't have to. They just get the teachers who have been here and are experienced to teach.
I feel like I've heard that before with certain jobs, because people want them so much. It's just the people in China get them.
Correct, and it's just like, why would they like look overseas for an inexperienced teacher when they can just like have someone?
Such a gamble as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a gamble when they can just find old John Smith that's been teaching at the kindergarten for 2 years to come teach the better kindergarten.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so I think if you do come here, like I said, I'm quite a relaxed person. So if I ever did lose my job, I know that I'd find one within a week. And I mean, how many interviews did you have?
I had 4.
Yeah, within
before a week.
Wow.
6 days. I had 4.
And how many of them did you get?
I think I got 3, but I took 1 before I even did the last interview.
Wow.
And the same recruiter was for 2 of the interviews, so I guess she just told the 3rd interview. I don't know if I got it or not. I guess she told them I accepted another job. I don't know.
But I've had so my company have been looking for new people, and I think as well, one of the things is if you're like an okay teacher, you're very desirable, because we had different. So I'll tell you 2 funny stories of people that got interviewed at my work. One was the guy did the interview, it went really well, and they had to do a demo in front of my manager and the principal. And apparently he just got out his guitar, was singing a song, and the TAs were pretending to be the students. And he finished the song, and he just looked at everyone and just went, "I can't do this," and just walked.
Oh my god!
And just walked out and just left.
Why?
Yeah.
Why didn't he try?
I think it was because it is a lot of pressure when you have like the managers and the principal watching you teach.
Why did he sing instead of just teaching them?
I don't know. I think he just was like, "Okay, I'm going to do this." And what my manager thought was, he's never taught before. He just thought he was a white guy that can come in. I think he was American. Like he could just come in. He's got a native accent. But then when they asked him to actually teach, he just went, "I can't do this." And the second story I remember is like, usually like when you're teaching with the kids, you put like points up. So you go at the end like, "Oh, Jared, you got 1, 2, 3. You got 6 points today. Well done." He did a class. The kids who were like supposed to be 3-year-olds, one of them got 44 points, and he counted it with a 4-year-old. And they were like, "Ugh."
I would have been like, "Whoa, so many! It's 44. Good job." I wouldn't even acknowledge.
Yeah, but he counted with a. But like, so, but my point is that it's not hard to find jobs out here, because I think some of the level, like the level isn't as high as say back home.
The standards aren't as high.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, of course not. We're teaching. You don't need a degree for this. You just need to do a TEFL course. You come here with a degree.
Technically, you need a degree. Like I need a degree.
Like your friends in the international school.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My friend got a job in an international school, and she's teaching science. I know that she's a nurse, but yeah, she's doing that.
Interesting.
Very cool.
Right.
So should we go into the next segment, which is well, okay, all right. So, this podcast is going to be a weird one. But so we're going to do we'll both do our, do you want to do phrase of the week, or do you want to do the crazy story of the week? Because I feel like the phrase of the week might be a bit boring. So
I say fuck phrase of the week. Let's do crazy story of the week.
Crazy story of the week.
On a crazy train.
So crazy. So Jagger couldn't think of one. So
yeah, fuck me.
I was going to talk about mine, and basically, I got in a car crash. And it was just like a very weird experience as well, because before I go into the story, I feel like I always forget to talk about this. So the Uber drivers, we call them DDs here, are insane. And I had one day where I was late for work and I needed to get to work within 15-20 minutes. And I looked at my DD when I got in and it said half an hour. And I was like, fuck. So I was messaging my TA and this guy was such a crazy driver. And like, so there's like, there'll be like 3 lanes on a highway and it's generally like they're go-karting. There is no rules. It's like, there's no like Western anger. It's like they're just used to it. So the people will just like cut up and inside of each other and you'll be in the back seat going from side to side being like, holy fucking shit. Like you'll be on your phone and like I guarantee most expats in China will agree with this. You'll be on your phone and some drivers are so crazy that you just have to look out the front window just in case you have to embrace for a crash. Right?
He's right. And also Daniel's right. Also, these are not like Uber drivers in the sense of a lot of people drive Uber as a part-time gig.
Yeah.
So they're like, fuck a ticket. I would lose all my money this month for getting a ticket, right? So a lot of times, DD, this is these guys' full-time job.
Yeah.
So they're like taking it seriously. They're like seatbelt in, floor mats in, tissues in their bag, bottles of water, curtains on the windscreens. Boom, I said windscreens. People in America are like, what the fuck? Windshields. And they're taking it seriously. They're going fast. They know when to slow down. They're like looking at you, yelling stuff. I don't know what they're saying. I'm like seatbelt on my phone. A lot of times it's pretty professional. For being, like 2 or 3 USD.
But it's not just like there's one crazy driver. Imagine if they're all like that. Apart from like 10%, they're pretty much all like that. And so it's all like they're all just trying to cut up in front of each other to get there. So I got to work and my TA was like, dude, you said you were going to be 10 minutes late. And I was like, it's cool, man. Like my driver was just a maniac. It was like, it's pretty cool. And in the same day, so like the role reversal of that is that I'd finished work. I was super tired and I got a DD and I just wanted to go home. And like one of the reasons I like getting a DD back home is it's relaxing. It's nighttime. I put on some music, trying to listen to Chinese music. I'm trying to learn it. And this guy was even crazier than the guy in the morning. And he was driving. And I generally just was like, I can't even look at my phone. I was just like listening to music. And I was just like, and I was making noises. I know he didn't care, but I was just like, ooh. And like the worst is when they're in the middle lane and the 2 cars is like slowing down and they're just going like over like a crossroads. And you're like, okay, brace for impact, brace for impact.
Wow.
And I got home super fast, but
I haven't really had that many bad experiences of the crazy drivers. Maybe a few jerks, a few like slam on the brakes and the horn. Some of those, but
I would say 40%. 40 to 30% are like that. The other ones are a bit more relaxed. But so with my crazy story,
tell us about your crash. Smash.
I will do. I have to sort of do a little bit of a Chinese. My Chinese isn't good enough to actually say the conversation, but I'll do the argument that happened, which is kind of funny. No, in like a fake Chinese language that I've created. It sounds like to me. So I just left my apartment. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
It's not racist, is it?
No.
It's just how it sounds to me, right?
You're quoting them.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Misquoting them.
Yeah.
So I'd like, again, I think I was a little late for work. Oh no, I wasn't late for work. Maybe I was. Maybe I'm just saying that just in case my boss listens to this. So I got into the taxi and like, sometimes the things with DDs is like some of them are really, really nice and some of them are just like really weird. And I just got into this one. I was like, this is a weird one. And we just went down the street and we basically went into a crossroads to turn left. And I saw the guy on the electric bike. I think he's just like a takeaway driver, right? And he just went round a corner and I could see him. I was like, we're going to hit him. We're going to hit him. We're going to hit him. And then we just hit him. and we hit like his arm.
It was on an electric scooter.
He was, yeah. And then the side mirror like had come off. So he stops. The driver comes out, sees that he doesn't ask if I'm okay, by the way. He just cares about his car. So like looks at his car, he tries to put it back on, it doesn't come off. The guy on the bike comes over and the guy's like, and he's just like, and I think the guy on the bike was like proper shaken up. Like I could tell he was a bit quiet. But basically I think his boys were like chilling on the side of the road and one of them came over and I was just like, and he was like, ah. And then the other guys came, and I think everyone was basically saying that was your fault. And the other guy was just saying, yeah, but he fucked up my... And, like, the guy on the bike kind of was just, like, had a big scratch in his arm. So I was just sitting there for, like, 10 minutes, just, like, watching it, like, unfold. And I was like, does he remember that I'm here? That I'm here?
Forgot about you, bro.
And I wasn't, like... Cause obviously, I was going to be like, what's going on? So I called up my TA and said, was in a car crash. I don't really know what's going on. I can't order a new DD because I'm still officially in this one. And he was like, okay, let me speak to the driver. So they're having this mad argument. I'm like, 对不起. Can you, and then they spoke to some guy, like cancelled it. They got a new car DD and they went to work. But I knew I was going to get in a car crash. I just knew I was going to get into one this year.
Oh, wow.
But yeah.
That's crazy. I would have been freaking out. It was
like the guy that got hit, like he only like hurt his arm. It wasn't like a crazy accident, but it was still just a bit shocking, you know. But
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know what I would have done if I was there. I just probably would have like sat there and been like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?"
I did film it.
I
didn't send it to you guys, right?
You can tell they're all arguing.
Oh yeah, it was pretty. I felt sorry. I just really felt sorry for the guy on the bike. Right. He actually didn't do anything wrong. The guy just didn't look. Mm-mm. But it wasn't as biased as it could be, right?
Right. You'll notice in China, if you ever come here, that there's a few scooters.
A few?
A few. They're fucking everywhere.
They're the foundation of China.
Yes. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if if UPS came to China, had an ad, and then instead of like the UPS... Like, you imagine UPS ad in the States, and like it's like loading packages onto an airplane. It shows the airplane flying through the air. It says UPS. Mm-hmm. But in China, it just shows like an 18-wheeler, like a semi-truck's worth of packages, like on the back of a dude's scooter, and he's just like going through the rain in the middle of some Chinese farm, and it's just raining. And it just says like UPS China, clean and fast.
It is like that, man. It is like that. Because there's that. I think before we leave, did you read the thing that our friend sent us about how in China they're banning all barbecues because of the emissions that it's going to cause?
Right. It's like...
So we have a friend who just sends us these really bizarre news slides. And it
said Guangdong was trying to... Or Shenzhen wanted to like ban outdoor barbecues. It's like...
For what? For like CO2 emissions? Is that what it's
correct? But I'm pretty sure like the correct thing would be to like ban a certain substances that people burn that cause CO2 emissions. Like I'm pretty sure like using like a charcoal grill is actually charcoal. Coal's not good. I don't know. Yeah. I know there's got to be a solution to this besides destroying barbecues.
Yeah. And then I remember actually, to be fair to you, like I was waiting for my DD.
All the DDs.
And then there was a guy who just parked his car up, just put some shit on the side of the floor of the road. This is like a normal street, just lit it on fire, and it was burning. It was like proper fire. And I was just like looking at other people, everyone was just like walking past, and I was like, I hope one day I feel so comfortable that I just like rock up on the street and just like make a fire and just see what happens.
Yeah. Have I told the story about when I was in the restaurant and the dudes just walk in smoking cigarettes with the dogs?
You did.
I did on here?
Yeah, I just laughed so much.
Yeah, it's like crazy. It's like you're sitting there anywhere and you're like, I'm obeying the law, being a good citizen, and there's someone walks in the restaurant with a bunch of beers and cigarettes and their dog. No one bats an eye.
It's crazy.
But the good thing is that you can do it the same.
You can.
You can walk in there and start smoking a cigarette.
Like we found a new bar at the moment that we're kind of like jamming at. Fedoras.
Yeah, we found a pretty cool. One thing I do like about Shenzhen and Shanghai, I'm not sure about actually Beijing too. I'm not sure about any other cities. I've seen a few cool coffee shops in Wuhan, but in Shenzhen there's a lot of like hipster places.
Yeah,
like this Fedora place. It's like a bar with couches and a PS4 and a big ass TV and beers
and an arcade.
And an arcade, and you can't see it unless you walk in.
Yeah,
it's literally like the man cave.
It's got like a stage as well. I was saying like maybe if some of our friends did stand up comedy, they could like practice there and show
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's like the Bat Cave.
And we've made it into like our base because there was like one time when there was like 10 or 12 of us and we were all just there. I was like, this is like our hangout. If we were like in a gang, this is like our hangout. Like,
Yeah. If we were in a gang, it'd definitely be where we like met up and like did drugs and stuff. I guess I don't know.
it caused trouble.
I don't really know how a gang meeting would be. Like they'll pull up on their motorcycles. All right, guys,
you want to play some PS4?
We'll have our IPAs
Yeah.
and order some noodles.
You have to go to the actual refrigerator before you actually buy the thing, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty good, yeah. So in
That's
today's
pretty good accent, actually. I think I've been hanging around with you I'm picking it up.
mine's going away. I feel like
Oh, maybe I'm stealing it from you, Space Jam.
people. A few girls back, show me your southern accent. I'm like, well, god damn it, I haven't been hiding it.
Cool. Well, I think it's pretty good.
That was good. That was pretty good. It was only an hour. I think we're trying to hit around this time frame, anyways.
Yeah, we've
So-
got word from people. So, guys, questions in the YouTube comments or send it to us on our Instagram. I'm at DTJC12. Yep.
Mine's I have the move like Jagger. I have the moves like Jagger, or just you can type it in the YouTube comments or the Apple podcast.
Oh, yeah,
or the,
we're on
on
iTunes. I always
iTunes or
forget.
Spotify. You can just put in the comments. Just be like, do you want this long? Do you want this short?
Sweet.
What do you want to talk about? What do you want to know?
And we can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be about China.
Yeah.
If you guys just want to hear us babble on about your shit.
If you want to talk about Shanghai, we'll get someone from Shanghai who's lived there on. If you want to talk about Beijing, I've been there for like about 3 weeks. Not as long as some people, but we'll talk about it.
And so next week we're gonna have a video. We're gonna do 4 or 5, maybe more, just us, and then we're gonna start bringing guests on. So if you're in Shenzhen and you're listening and you want to come on, just send us a message and we'll do that.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace out, bitches.